Who can claim a child on their taxes? Hi, I am Juliana, and I'm an enrolled agent living in Texas. I like to cover some of my background of my time at the IRS, as well as things you may encounter in tax or with the IRS. I also like to answer questions, so feel free to send some over to me. If any of that interests you, then come along. Today, I wanted to briefly give an overview of who can claim a child. There are a bunch of criteria that the IRS gives. Generally speaking, if you are the child's parent and you are married or in a relationship with the other parent, you can probably claim your kid. But a lot of people have complicated situations. The first, most important part is that the child is yours. Generally speaking, a child is considered your offspring, an adopted offspring, a sibling, a step sibling, a stepchild, a foster child, a half sibling, or a descendant of any of those people. They also must be under 17 at the end of the year, so as of December 31st. And by under 17, it means they are still 16 years old as of December 31st. They must live with you for over half of the year, and that by living, it means overnights. There are temporary times where they can be considered away. That's usually at school, like at a camp, at a sleepover, but they are still considered to be living with you during those times. You also must provide more than half of the child's financial support. Your child must be a U.S. citizen. And then there's some more vague ones, like you have to be eligible to claim the child and as a dependent, and sometimes they have to not have over a certain amount of income. There are times when another person can claim your children. So, like if you have your children taken away and they lived in foster care, sometimes the foster parent or can claim them and not you. So you have to look and see if you fit all of the other criteria. Did you have them more than half the year? Did you supply more than 50% of their support? That type of thing. If you have foster children yourself, you have to see, is someone else claiming them? Do you have the legal ability to claim them? Things like that. Did you take in any siblings during the year and care for them? If you think that you may be eligible to claim a child, always give that information to your tax preparer with the details that I mentioned. See if you do qualify. They may ask you follow-up questions, ask you to provide proof. Sometimes someone else will claim the child as well, especially if you are in a situation where the child lives with two parents in separate homes and it's somewhat equal, or you guys don't get along. Someone else may claim the child. There are ways around this. If you are legally eligible and the other person is not, you then have to file a paper return claiming the children, and sometimes attaching an explanation is helpful. They will send a letter back to you and often to the other person to ask for proof or ask follow-up questions to make sure you are eligible to claim the child. I have recently had to undergo this with a family member who has been in this odd situation, and so it has been ongoing and sometimes takes a very long time to get resolved, but the IRS is usually pretty good about this because they encounter it all the time. You do want to get all of your deductions and credits that you can, so if you can claim a child, do it. You also cannot give away your children. If you are eligible to claim them, but for whatever reason you are not or cannot file a tax return, then you can't just give away their information to your friend, neighbor, family member just because you want them to benefit. That is tax fraud and illegal. Don't do that.